Hello, you are welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom. We're live from our studios at number 5. Ola Hansen Lena Tessa no here in Accra. I'm Charles Ozukumi. Coming up. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Minority Leader denied access to Chairman Wontumi at NIB amid ongoing investigation.
Know how many people in Ghana can have property with 50 million Ghana cedis. I believe that this was just set to release. We are going to follow the due process, the legal process, to make sure that he's released as soon as possible.
Also coming up, Tema West MC vows urgent restoration of degraded Ramsar sites amid flood prevention efforts.
We've put in place a task force that will be monitoring and seeing that these structures don't come up again. We would like for you, once in a while, join our monitoring team so that you can update the public on how far we've gone. Now we would have to reclaim the land, restore the land to its original use.
President Mahama criticizes NPP's elevation of Sunyani Regional Hospital to teaching status.
The government's announcement of the upgrade of the Sunyani Hospital into a teaching hospital was not backed by any legal legislation. We have corrected that.
Later in the bulletin, Minority raises concerns over Ghana's ratification of World Trade Organization Fisheries Subsidies Agreement.
Minister, by ratifying this means that you are taking subsidy to completely out from the fisher folks. That the subsidy that is on the premix, the subsidy that is on the abort motors, and even you are unable, Chairman, to tell us the capacity, what is the local capacity of and the impact of the subsidy that we are talking about.
In Channel 1 Business. Nearly half of Africa's currencies, including Ghana's cedi, expected to weaken against US dollar in 2025. Now, this is according to AFDB. In Channel 1 Sports. Black Stars head coach Otto Addo confident of strong finish at 2025 Unity Cup ahead of third place playoff versus Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for choosing the Channel 1 Newsroom. Let's get into the details of our stories. And the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchi-Boesiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, is expected to spend a fourth consecutive night in custody over alleged money laundering and related crimes. He was transferred to the National Intelligence Bureau cells on Friday after spending 3 days in the Economic and Organized Crime Office Yoko detention. Former Vice President and 2024 NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Minority Leader Alexander Penyamaking were unsuccessful in their attempts to have access to him on Friday. Freduo has more in this report.
Bernard Enchi-Boesiako, the Ashanti Regional Chairman, was arrested by security operatives from Yoko on Tuesday and interrogated over allegations of money laundering and other related offences. He was granted bail of 50 million Ghana cedis with two sureties who must own landed properties in Accra. However, the case has dragged on into its fourth day as Chairman Wontumi was relocated from Iyoko custody to NIB detention. Party supporters gathered in large numbers outside the NIB to protest and hoped that the intervention of former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would secure his release. Following discussions with NIB officials, Dr. Bawumia expressed disappointment after being denied access to Chairman Wontumi.
50 million Ghana is very onerous. I don't know how many people in Ghana can have property with 50 million Ghana cedis. I believe that this was just set to release. We are going to follow the due process, the legal process, to make sure that he's released as soon as possible. I want to plead with all to remain calm as we work behind the scenes to make sure that he is out. I believe that we will be successful, but we have to be calm and not take the law into our own hands. I think it's very important that we follow due process and make sure that Chairman Wontumi is released safe and sound.
The minority leader, Alexander Fenyo-Makin, also expressed concern describing the ongoing detention as possible retaliatory victimization.
According to NIB, he is not their suspect, and he was brought here by Yoko. So as for them, they can only allow access upon firm instructions from Yoko. Well, all those arrangements were made, but upon getting here, they now tell us different story. We'll keep to it, and I'm sure some, I don't know, but I find it very worrying that a country, Ghana, inquiry bail, or someone would demand 50 million cedis worth of properties before the person is granted inquiry bail. I'm telling my friends in NDC one more time, they should check some of these things, because posterity is watching them.
From now being Friday evening, it is obvious that the leadership, and from their facial expression, they've literally given up. One would say they are just waiting now for the operatives to do what pleases them. And so the former vice president left, the minority leader left, and all the party stalwarts, they've entered their vehicles and off they go.
Now, residents of Bosomtwe, the home turf of Chairman Wontumi, are demanding his release. They are urging authorities to conduct the investigations without resorting to intimidation or harassment. Their calls are echoed by the Ashanti Regional Party executives of the NPP, who are appealing to religious leaders, including members of the clergy, imams, and the National Peace Council, to intervene. Our Ashanti Regional correspondent Doris Lonta has more in this report.
Bernard Nchiboseakun, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been dominating media headlines for the past weeks over allegations leveled against him. His invitation by police CID and subsequent arrest by Yoko remain topical issues in the Ghanaian media space. Chairman Wontumi remains in Yoko's custody after failing to meet a 50 million bail condition. I'm here in his home constituency to engage residents and constituents to understand what they make of the development.
Wontumi has been someone who is lovely, who is caring, and other stuff. So I don't know where all this are coming from. In fact, I don't agree with the tag that they have been tagging him with. No.
Say kasa twitwa bi a ye wura Wontumi kan yenti ene de sanse bi tano de na kwa mesre ye wura John Dramani mama yesre ne pa na dawroma sa be condition no yesre ne se onte so ana bo so twede no kwasem ne ye tete enkosi se ye be gya Chairman Wontumi anase ye be bele na mana bafie no ye nhye da ni asomdwe ni ahoto se ye sori a ye TV ho ne ye hwe ne ekoso.
Addressing a press conference in Kumasi, the leadership of the party in the Ashanti region described the arrest and continued detention of Wontumi as unfair.
We call upon the government, leaders of this nation called Ghana, the clergy, imams, peace council, to impress on Yoko to be guided by the best practices as envisaged by the framers of our 1992 Constitution. A 50 million bail is unreasonable and unfair.
Members of the party in the Ashanti region have vowed to continue pushing for the release of Chairman Wontumi, insisting that he is innocent of the allegations leveled against him. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Doris Lonta, Ashanti region.
Let's stay with the issues relating to Chairman Wontumi. We're joined in the studio by Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed. Haruna, today it was a very hectic day. Leadership of the party, including Dr. Bawumia himself, went to NIB head office to have access to the chairman, but he wasn't there. And when I spoke to you earlier, you said that you had gone to the Kaokudi office of NIB to see if Chairman Wontumi is there. Did you find him there?
No, we have not been able to find Chairman Wontumi. This is something that is very surprising to all of us. I can remember that when Koku Anyidoho, who was a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, was arrested and sent to the BNI cells for treason charges. You know, treason is a high crime. The former president, now President John Dramani Mahama, and the party leadership were granted access to go in and meet with him. I don't know what has changed now. This government is interested in persecution, and I don't know where they want this country to end up. If you check the history of Chairman Wontumi's arrest, it is having so many question marks. Chairman Wontumi was invited by the police CID to appear on 21st of this month. He sent a letter to the CID on grounds of health that he cannot be able to make it, but he will be able to make it on 26th.
Okay.
That was Monday. On Friday, early hours of the day, operatives of national security were at his house to pick him up without a warrant. We resisted and they went away. On Monday, Chairman Wontumi, in the company of party leadership, because I was there, and other regional chairmen and council, visited the CID headquarters. He was asked on 2 issues. He responded, which bordered on Akunta mining. He indicated how his license has ferried him. Okay. And the forest that they are talking about, he never had license, and he cannot be protecting a forest that he doesn't have license. So whoever is in that forest is the responsibility of the state agency to do so. So if there is any evidence against him of his entry, then the state should charge him and provide. Then they asked him to report on the next day at 3 p.m. He reported. They finished with him. Then Yoko came and bundled him from the CID headquarters. We followed till the night that we were told he wasn't well because he had health history. And we could not see him. Only lawyer and their peer Kubi was allowed access to him. None of the party leadership, none of former government appointees, because I saw the Greater Accra regional chairman, former regional minister, was there, and he was not given access. My boss, the general secretary, went, he wasn't given access. The third vice national chairman went, he wasn't given access. I went with Salam Mustafa, I went with the deputy national organizer, 2 deputy communication directors. We went, we were not given access. We stood there for some time and were told that he has been whisked away to a hospital. Yes. And when the lawyer came and briefed us, that they were served with a notice which bordered on Exim Bank. So on that basis, that Iyoko arrested him. So that document or the case was a civil case. And such a case, if we all know what Exim Bank is, if you are taking a facility from Exim Bank, you will be given based on a guarantee. On that guarantee, if you fail to pay, the bank can rely on those guarantees. Okay. Then all of a sudden, that they have to pay a surety of 50 million. How much loan did he take from them? What is the case? What are they looking for? Then we begin to ask questions that what at all do they want from Chairman Wontumi? Then, not long, we heard that vehicle issues. He's not an importer. He's not an exporter. He said where he's buying his vehicles from. The same place that Ibrahim Mahama is buying his vehicles from. We heard rumors that this evening, National Security has gone to the premises of that vehicle seller. Only God knows whether he has been arrested or something has been done at that place.
Well, we're told he's also being investigated for fraud.
We don't know.
Causing financial loss to the state,
he's a car dealer. He's a car dealer. So now, they have shifted from Galamsey, shifted from there to Exim Bank, shifted from what at all? What at all? Are we bringing the P in addition to the NDC so that we will now have Provisional Defense Council? So that they will go back to the days, the dark days of let the blood flow? Or they want to intimidate and put everybody in the room? We as a party would not allow that to happen. We are law-abiding citizens. If they think that there is something to charge Chairman Wontumi, they should charge him and send him to court.
Well, on the bail bond, 50 million cedis, we're told that by your side that this is very onerous and it is unrealistic and doesn't make sense. But we're also told that the former flag bearer of the party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is leading the charge to sort of galvanize people around this and bail Chairman Wontumi. How far with that? Because today we didn't hear anything about that when he came to the NIB head office.
I think the bail condition is very unreasonable. You see, if you are a finance person, to be able to put this bail condition to galvanize properties up to a tune of 50 million Ghana cedis, it's not an easy job. What is the crime? What is the value of the crime? Nobody knows. These are questions that we are asking. Nobody is responding. We can't even see him. Nobody knows the propriety of the crime that has been committed. So it is just unreasonable. Sometimes you don't even want to talk about it because the state is not interested in prosecution. They are interested in persecution. But posterity will judge us.
Well, we heard that his lawyers have filed processes at the court to get the court to vary the bail conditions. If this fails, what will be the next line of action for the party?
I think if it fails, the lawyers will put their heads together to find a route of which we have to follow. We have said that we are going to continue to use every legal route to get Chairman Wontumi out. Chairman Wontumi is a staunch member of our party, the chairman of the Ashanti Regional Party of the New Patriotic Party. We think that the manner in which he has been treated is unjustified, and the state is not interested, and the state does not have any shred of evidence against him. If they do, let's meet in court. If they know that they should go to court. Even murder, there is grant of bail. What is the crime? 50 million? It means maybe he has broken it into World Bank, because I don't know. Maybe. This is not the Ghana we handed over to the NDC. This is not the Ghana. Civil society, the media, the diplomatic corps, they should see there is political unrest in this country. Governance is at a stall. because government does not have a direction as to how they are going to deal with this matter. If they are going to continue to persecute former government appointees and party leaders, then we'll go nowhere.
All right. Thank you very much, Haruna. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary for the NPP. Now, let's go to the Electoral Commission, which has held a series of high-level meetings with the Ghana Police Service as part of efforts to finalize decisions on the protracted Ablekuma North parliamentary election impasse. The constituency has remained without a member of parliament since the start of the 9th parliament, following a dispute between the National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party candidates in the 2024 general elections. The stalemate has significantly heightened political tensions in the area. While the NDC is calling for a fresh election, the NPP maintains that the Electoral Commission should declare results based on the December 7 vote. Channel 1 News sources indicate that a crucial meeting is scheduled for next week to determine the modalities required to resolve the impasse and ensure parliamentary representation for Ablekuma North. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has criticized what he described as the deceptive elevation of the Sunyani Regional Hospital to a teaching hospital status under the previous New Patriotic Party administration. Now, speaking during his thank you tour of the Bono region, the president stated that the facility lacked the infrastructure and legal backing to merit the designation. Channel 1 News' presidential correspondent Akosi Otre reports.
The Bono region gave the NDC 11 out of 12 parliamentary seats, with John Mahama winning massively in the region. In a bid to appreciate their votes, the president assured of developmental projects, including an upgrade of the Sunyani Teaching Hospital.
The previous government's announcement of the upgrade of the Sunyani Hospital into a teaching hospital was not backed by any legal legislation. We have corrected that. The Council of State has approved the board, and collaboration with UNER is underway to begin the training of health professionals to serve the Bono East, Ahafo, and beyond.
The president also announced the establishment of a medical school at the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
Soon commence construction of additional facilities to support the establishment of a fully fledged medical school in UNER. We're going to start training doctors in UNER. There'll be a medical school there. This new medical school will be anchored on the Sunyani Teaching Hospital.
The president also pledged prompt payments for road contractors under the Big Push agenda.
The Minister of Finance has made adequate financial provision for these roads. Indeed, the Minister of Finance has told me to tell you that funding will not be an excuse. Every contractor who will be working under the Big Push, when he raises a certificate for payment, within 2 weeks he will receive his money. So if any contractor is not working, or say Adeyo and traditional leaders, it's not because he hasn't been paid. It's because of something else. And so you must find out why the contractor is not working.
The Bono Regional House of Chiefs appealed for a probe into major scandals.
National criteria, $58 million in the basket. Selipano, or a soft or a manu.
Also called for due process in the arrest of the Ashanti Regional Chairman.
You're watching the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Still ahead. Nearly half of Africa's currencies, including Ghana's cedi, expected to weaken against the US dollar in 2025. That's according to AFDB. The news will be back shortly. Please stay with us.
My name is Ochiame Kwame. I live at the plush Leisure Den Symphonic, a real estate property developed by Whaley Properties, the very developers of Vista Del Mare and the beautiful Alphabet City. So come with me to site. Let me introduce you to your new home, a gated community with 24-hour security in the heart of Sakomono. Behind me is going to be Willow Lane, where elegance will meet tranquility. You are going to be greeted with a 4-bedroom ensuite home with an elevator, swimming pool, children's playground, constant electricity, and many more. But wait, it gets even more interesting for early birds like you. You get a whopping $50,000 discount. Yes, I said $50,000 if you purchase between now and the end of this month. So call us now or visit us. Willow Lane, where elegance meets tranquility.
Where to get polytank?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
No, I'm not left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Oh no! Abe, na here. Me pe polytank ato. Enu ti ta me nua ba you to be abedina ba heju. O food to be a e de entwa ye kura.
Akuya bulambo kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they take to buy so. Go to the distributor and you give the original polytank. Polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank, Papananka Sankasa.
Some movies change the world, and you'll find them elsewhere. Mnet Movies 4 is just in it to change your mood.
Great.
They turn an ordinary night into something
awesome.
Make you laugh louder, smile bigger, and feel like a kid all over again.
Yay! This is gonna be so much fun!
The only thing our movies are seriously serious about is making you happy. All month long.
Ah!
On Mnet Movies 4 for the easy, cheesy, silly, funny, snort laugh classic movies of your life.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hey, welcome back. This is the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Up next is Channel 1 Business with Nashika Caesar.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees emergency. Mommy, chop money emergency. Emergency. Catch it. I'm your rent emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for all your money emergencies and chop life.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and get easy and quick access to your money, loans, and other banking needs. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hi, Lushka.
Hi, Charles.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, how come AFDB is projecting that the cedi will weaken against the dollar when in fact
I know it's been doing
since the beginning of the year it's been doing pretty
comparatively
good.
well. It's gone up by over 40% already. So, yeah. But I'll tell you all that in a bit.
All right.
Almost half of Africa's currencies are expected to weaken against the US dollar this year. The African Development Bank, ADFB, attributes geopolitical tensions and domestic challenges to this. In its Africa Economic Outlook, the bank projects that 21 currencies will depreciate, while 25 could appreciate across the continent's 54 nations. Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, including Libya, Nigeria, Rwanda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe may see drops of 6% or more between 2025 to 2026. Meanwhile, Kenya, Morocco, and CFA franc zone countries could post gains over 3%. The AFDB highlights how global trade tensions sparked by former U.S. President Donald Trump's policies have shaken financial markets and raised borrowing costs, restricting access to dollars. In contrast, Ghana cedi has surged 43%, driven by gold price gains, while South Africa's rand is up 5% after resolving budget issues. Now, the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GREDA, is raising concerns over the persistent reluctance of many foreign developers to join its ranks, describing the trend as a major barrier to industry cohesion and regulatory alignment. Efforts to get foreign firms on board have yielded little success, but GREDA remains committed to bridging the gap. At the inauguration of its Executive Council Standing Committees and Stakeholder Forum, GREDA is targeting 95% membership coverage among real estate developers operating in Ghana. President of the association is Dr. James Olins-Lindsay.
We cannot regulate the companies from the who are on the outside of the grouping, and therefore that is why I ask that those companies, and they are quite a number, who are not members and who are building all over the city, all over the country, they join. It's purely, although GREDA is voluntary, it has evolved to become a must join association, and therefore if you join, it's important for you. Again, to the other things that are being done on the outside, that if we don't have them in there, we cannot comment and we cannot direct. And that is why we are pushing for at least 95% of developers to be part of GREDA.
Now, the mining sector contributed to 17.7 billion Ghana cedis in revenue to the government in 2024, representing a 51.2% increase from 11.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2023. According to the Ghana Chamber of Mines, dividends paid to the state rose by over 600% to 1.03 billion Ghana cedis. The surge underscores the sector's expanding role as the cornerstone of the domestic revenue generation. Daniel Odumensa has more in the following reports.
The chamber noted that the mining industry's contribution to domestic revenue rose from 8.8% to 9.6%, while its share of total government revenue increased from 8.6% to 9.5% during the same period. This upturn boosted the mining sector's share of direct domestic taxes from 22.7% in 2023 to 24.3% in 2024. Here is the president of the chamber, Michael Edemakafia, providing highlights at the Chamber's 97th Annual General Meeting.
Our sector contributed 17.7 billion Ghana cedis in fiscal payments to the government in 2024, a 51.2% increase from the 11.7 billion that it was in 2023. This accounted for 24.3% of direct domestic taxes and 9.5% of total government revenue. Dividend paid for 2024 was a record for that year. It surged by 600% to 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. This translated into a rise in the mining sector's share of contributing to direct domestic taxes from 22.7% in 2023 to 24.3% in 2024.
Meanwhile, the Chief Director at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Innocent Haliga, urged stakeholders in the mining industry to cooperate with the Ghana Gold Board to enhance a safe mining environment.
The Gold Board has been established as part of measures to control issues in the sector,
And above all, we know they are supposed to stabilize the currency in the country, which we are witnessing currently. And we expect that all of us will cooperate with all these agencies that are responsible in making sure that we have safe money environment.
The Ghana Chamber of Mines has stated that it will continually advocate for the passage of the Minerals Revenue Development Act to guide the utilization of revenue accrued from the country's mineral resources. For Channel One Business, I am Daniel Odro-Mensah.
Now, the Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nasir George, has called on telecommunications companies to revise their pricing models to reflect the recent significant appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollar. Speaking at a meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of the three major telecom operators, the minister emphasized that while consumers were burdened with increased costs during periods of currency depreciation, they should equally benefit from gains made in the cedi's value.
When the currency was misbehaving under the previous administration, it was part of the reasons why you asked for price increases. When the mismanagement under the previous administration saw the dollar move from 6 to 16, most of everything you do is imported in US dollars. And so the Ghanaian people bore the brunt, and you also bore part of that brunt on your balance sheet. But thanks to prudent management by the Mahama administration, you've seen the dollar drop from almost 17, today it's trading at about 10 point something, 10.2. You know, part of that drop must reflect in the pricing or the value offering to the Ghanaian people. But bottom line is, if the Ghanaian people had to pay a certain price for the mismanagement of the currency, when the currency is strengthening, there must be a pull-through and a pass-through to the Ghanaians. So this one must be better than the call setup time.
And that's it for Channel One Business. I'm Nashika Caesar. Charles, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ka. Let's now focus on some other stories. The Tema West Municipal Chief Executive Ludwig Totime has announced plans to urgently restore degraded Ramsar sites and other wetlands within the municipality. He made this known during a demolition exercise in Klagon, undertaken as part of the government's ongoing flood prevention efforts. Channel One News' Fauzi Masaudu reports.
Designated wetlands under the Ramsar Convention. These sites also serve as habitat for natural species including fish and white-colored birds. Many of these sites have been lost to human activities, especially their encroachment by private individuals, causing severe ecological repercussions, a reason for the demolition exercise led by the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Today, the task force made a stop here in Klagon, within the Tema municipality. The National Disaster Management Organization has been explaining why this exercise is important, especially within this enclave.
If you look at this site, all water coming from the motorway, those coming from Ashama, Zenu area, China Mall, they all come here to settle before they move to the sea itself. So if you look at the enclave, this forms our reservoir, the basin. So the water coming needs to settle down first before it can gradually enter the sea. So if you observe since when we came, most of the fence where we've brought it down still have water within them. So we need to reserve the place because the rate at which people are failing to put up structures, we are afraid moving forward, if we are to maintain these structures, the whole of Accra will submerge.
Many of the structures demolished, there were fence walls around the land. Municipal Chief Executive for Tema West, Ludwig Totime, indicated plans by the Assembly to promptly restore and reclaim the land for its original purpose.
We've put in place a task force that will be monitoring and seeing that these structures don't come up again. We would like for you, once in a while, join our monitoring team so that you can update the public on how far we've gone. Now we would have to reclaim the land, restore the land to its original use. For one, you don't get to see the owners. Even when people come and they are being emotional about the breakages, you ask them, do you know the owner? They tell you no, they don't know. That's the mystery to it. We don't know who owns it, we don't know who sold it to them, but you will get calls and then they will tell you their properties have been broken. When you tell them to come and even let's have a discussion, they won't come.
Despite the significance of this exercise to curbing the country's perennial flooding menace, some residents here disagree with its modality.
We can even get ways and means of solving this problem, but not demolishing properties.
How could they have done this, knowing very well that these buildings have been erected on waterways, and knowing the devastation of the recent floods, for instance?
Already are there. You see the main gutter, all the gutters are choked. So first of all, if it were me, I would first and foremost excavate the trenches and the main ones. Where the water is coming to just pass away.
Recent perennial flooding, especially in the Greater Accra region, authorities say this exercise is non-negotiable. Reporting for Channel 1 News, Fauzu Masaudu, Klagon.
Let's now head to Parliament. The Minority Caucus is raising red flags over Ghana's decision to ratify the World Trade Organization Agreement on fisheries subsidies. The agreement will target the elimination of subsidies that contribute to illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is facing stiff opposition from lawmakers who fear it could harm the very backbone of Ghana's fishing industry by removing government subsidies on premix fuel, outboard motors and fishing gear. Channel 1 News' Ni Ayikwe reports.
The Food and Agriculture Committee of Parliament presented its report on Ghana's ratification of the World Trade Organization Agreement on fisheries subsidies on Friday. The committee noted that while Ghana's assent and ratification of the agreement offer a significant opportunity to strengthen the country's efforts against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, such a move must be approached with caution. The committee recommended that Ghana's ratification be accompanied by specific reservations to protect the livelihoods of local artisanal fishers who rely heavily on government subsidies for premix fuel.
If you are bringing a ratification for us to work on, and therefore we are going to take, say, fuel subsidy, premix subsidy, take subsidies from fishing gear, clearly we know that our fisher folks are going to follow. And therefore, I believe that if we have done this report without consulting our fisher folks, it is very important that as we bring a bill to domesticate this provision.
What they are doing today is not going to help the fisher folks and the fishing community. By ratifying this means that you are taking subsidy to completely out from the fisher folks. That the subsidy that is on the premix, the subsidy that is on the outboard motors, and even you are unable, Chairman, to tell us the capacity. What is the local capacity of and the impact of the subsidy that we are talking about?
Agreement being ratified by this House today in no way will lead to removal of subsidies. The agreement is very clear. If you read at Article 3, Clause 1, Speaker, it says this: no member shall grant or maintain any subsidy to a vessel or an operator engaged in illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing.
Parliament on Friday approved a 10 billion Ghana cedi allocation for the National Health Insurance Authority to execute its program of activities for the year 2025.
We have included the dialysis as part of the benefit package of the National Health Insurance Scheme, just like malaria or any other disease. So the policy direction is that we are going to fund the dialysis issues in this country. The difference as a result of the uncapping has been directed to about three main items. One, free primary health care. So when a Ghanaian is sick and they go to the CHIP compound, the health center, the policy is that he must be treated free of charge.
For Channel 1 News from Parliament, Ni Ayikwe Okai.
Let's now head to the Savannah region where the district chief executive for the Central Gonja district, Haruna Haruna, has donated 60 dual decks to the Yape Presby Primary A and B schools. Now this follows a Channel 1 News report that highlighted the dire conditions in which pupils were forced to study on the bare floor due to the absence of furniture. The following report has more.
Channel 1 News spoke exclusively with the head teachers of both schools who expressed appreciation to the district chief executive for responding to their plight with a donation of 60 dual desks. However, they continue to appeal for additional support from the government and benevolent individuals as the current intervention is still not enough to meet the needs of the schools.
We are grateful for the swift action that the Assembly has taken. But nonetheless, we still need more to solve the problem of inadequate furniture in the two schools.
Previously, pupils had no desk and were compelled to study on the bare floor, a situation that raised concerns about the negative impact on their academic performance. Idi Kamel, Assembly member for the Yape electoral area and presiding member of the Central Gonja District Assembly, lauded the swift response of the DCE. He, however, highlighted another pressing concern. The teachers' quarters are in a dilapidated state, posing a danger to occupants. As a result, teachers are forced to rent accommodation far from the school.
There are a lot of issues that we need the attention of the authorities, which include the entire school building of the Yape Presby B primary block, which need massive facelift or renovation. Likewise, there are teachers' quarters, which is in a deplorable state. We needed to another facelift to the teachers' quarters. And so we are still calling on authorities, those who can still come to our aid.
John Fuseni, chairman of the Parent Teachers Association and School Management Committee SMC, also appealed for a facelift of the school infrastructure, describing its current state as deplorable.
Last 2 years, we had Mr. Dr. Wayo. He helped us in donating for amount with other districts so that we're able to renovate 3 classrooms, which were for our KGS. Today, we are still needing another classrooms for another KGs because the years are going and the children are increasing and we still need more help.
Now, there's still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV, still to come. Black Stars head coach Otto Addo confident of strong finish at the 2025 Unity Cup ahead of the third place playoff versus Trinidad and Tobago. We have details in a bit. Please don't go away.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety is as important as the air that we breathe. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
One night, I heard the glass shattering. Armed robbers had broken in. Before I could react, the alarm blared and the lights flashed, and Response 1 was already on their way. Within minutes, the security was at my door and the armed robbers had fled. I never want to be that scared again. And now I know with Response 1, I never will.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1. Stay connected, stay protected.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love. P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Some movies change the world, and you'll find them elsewhere. Mnet Movies 4 is just in it to change your mood. Great. Yes, I can. They turn an ordinary night into something awesome. Make you laugh louder, smile bigger, and feel like a kid all over again.
Yay! This is gonna be so much fun!
The only thing our movies are seriously serious about is making you happy. All month long.
Ah!
On Mnet Movies 4 for the easy, cheesy, silly, funny, snort laugh classic movies of your life.
Has it in a wide position, so what's next?
Ronaldo. This could be. There's still danger here.
Goal! Goal! In 1924, my grandpa was a champion. 2024, Meso is a champion.
Hey, digital champion. It's about the end.
Digital champion, what can TV shop online? Let me help you get what you need from Enterprise now. It's this simple. I just log into my Enterprise account using the Enterprise Self-Service Portal. Then I just click on this button for their new Advantage Point loyalty scheme. Then boom, the fun begins. Wow. Yes, once I start making purchases under any subsidiary, I can now earn a lot of points and redeem it as airtime, Momo, and more. Customers only. Even on your birthday,
you earn points.
Yes, even when you like and share on the portal,
you earn points.
Yes.
Purchase an Enterprise policy today to enjoy this exclusive offer and start earning rewards. Because nothing you do should be pointless.
Oh, then redeem more of your points and send to me.
Hey, Mr. Digital Champion.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Thank you for staying with us. Up next on the Channel 1 Newsroom is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Abeku-Otri. Hello, Abeku.
Hi, Charles.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know you have news on the Black Stars. What else do you have?
All right, let's get into it, shall we now? Black Stars head coach Otoado says his side has the quality to finish the 2025 Unity Cup on a high note. Ghana faces Trinidad and Tobago in the third place playoffs on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. at the GT Community Stadium in London. Both sides head into the clash looking to avoid back-to-back defeat. Trinidad and Tobago were edged 3-2 by Jamaica, whilst Ghana fell 2-1 to Nigeria in the semi-finals.
We showed already a good reaction, and surely we want to continue from the second half. Like I said before, it's a big chance for a lot of players. We have a lot of newcomers in the national team who were able to show themselves in the last game, but also in this game, and it's a very, very good possibility for them to make the life for me hard to choose who will come for our next World Cup qualifiers in September. So, and we really, really want to finish this tournament with a win, and I think we have the quality for that, and we just have to show it on the pitch from the beginning, not just from the second half. And the possibilities are there, and it's just at the end, it's just up to us now to show it and to deliver.
Well, let's travel international now, and the UEFA Champions League final takes center stage on Saturday night as Inter Milan faces off against Paris Saint-Germain at the Allianz Arena in Munich with kickoff set for 7 p.m. Inter Milan are gunning for their 4th European title, while PSG are determined to clinch their maiden crown on the continent's grandest stage. Ahead of the highly anticipated showdown, PSG midfielder Vitinha expressed confidence in the team's ability to rise to the occasion, while Inter Milan's Marcus Thuram insists they won't be underestimating the French champions, acknowledging the threats PSG poses.
I think we believed, or we always believed, even though the things weren't the best. We are a young group, but we are ready for it. We have a lot of will to play this game. And to win it.
You know, so they have the wing backs for Hakimi and Nuno Mendes who are really fast. So it's going to be, I think they attack a lot, but they're a good defensive team also. They're very balanced, and it's going to be a hard game. Yeah, but I think the real emotion is you can't really like picture it before. Yeah. And I think it really comes like, you know, the warm up, it builds up, and then the song and the stadium full of people. So I think that's the moment when you really realize, okay, that I'm in the game. We're about to start.
Well, that's the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abeko. Charles, I want Inter to win. Do you?
I think PSG should win. Thank you very much, Abeku. Let's now hear from former President John Agyekum Kufuor, who has endorsed the upcoming National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving scheduled for July 1, 2025, emphasizing the need for governance in Ghana to be anchored in unity, humanity, and inclusiveness. Rachel Engman has more.
Former President John Agyekum Kufuor threw his support behind the upcoming National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving during a courtesy call by the Planning Committee at his Pejiasi residence ahead of the nationwide observance set for July 1, 2025. This year's event is deemed Reflect, Reset and Renew for National Prosperity. It will begin with a Christian gathering at the forecourt of the State House from 8 to 10 a.m., followed by Muslim prayers at the National Mosque from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Simultaneous prayer events will also be held in all 16 regions and 275 districts across the country.
So 1st July, the Republic Day, was when Ghana gave itself its first president. And it's a day and a date that should not be overlooked. So if the sitting president of today, President Mahama, has thought it fit to use the day, not only to mark the day the nation became a republic, but also the day that nation should give thanks. And I say he thought it right, and I agree with him.
Chairman of the Planning Committee, Elvis Efriye Ankra, expressed gratitude for the former president's endorsement, describing it as a morale boost for the nationwide initiative.
So we came up here to pay a courtesy call on His Excellency, former President John Agyekum Kufuor, and to brief him about the event, and to also invite him to attend. And as you saw, it was a very warm and cordial reception that he gave to us. And he has also endorsed the whole idea and promised that he'll be there if he's available. So in that line, we'll continue with the outreach to various senior statesmen in the country. And we believe that 1st July will be a memorable day.
The Planning Committee of the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving has paid a courtesy call on the former President John Agyekum Kufuor. The former president has endorsed the event, calling for unity amongst all and sundry. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Rachel Engman.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Please visit our website, channel1news.com, for more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel 1 TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel 1 TV. I'm Charles Osukumi. Thank you for watching.